it's not about the destination as much as it is about the journey, right? We know that we find joy in that progress. We are a species that is never content standing still, and that's what Renatus is all about. It's all about helping people take that next step forward. So get involved with the 10-day challenge and go out there and crush it. Create some incredible success. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the Leaders Retreat. Now, we have the Leaders Retreat coming up. Oh, man, what is it? The 15th of September is when we're starting this thing. That means it's like 2 weeks from today kind of deal. 2 weeks from today is when I'm actually taking off down to Mexico. There are several people that are going to be joining us a couple days later, but it is set to be an incredible event. We did a full walkthrough today with the team, and I am so looking forward to getting to rub elbows with the entire family down in Cancun, Mexico. So we have Friday night, we have our welcome reception. Saturday, we are going to have our big group training. That usually goes for about 4 hours from 9 till 1. And then Saturday night, this is the part that I want to focus in on here for just a couple of minutes. During the last national conference, we actually opened up registration for the Leaders Retreat with the caveat that the first 25 people that registered were going to get a special invitation to join a private reception Saturday night with Bob, myself, Matt Snyder, and the pack. And so for those 25 individuals, I'm actually going to be shooting you guys off an email here with a link in it that is going to allow you to anonymously submit questions that we will then use as part of a masterminding session in that private reception on Saturday night. So look forward to that email if you're one of our 25, and be thinking about what questions that you can ask. And then what we're going to do is either I or Bob or Matt are going to answer the question and then give the pack an opportunity to weigh in as well. This is going to be a very small setting mastermind that is going to give each one of you an opportunity to learn from top income earners, from the CEO, from the president, the vice president of corporate relations. I had to think about what his full title was, and all of the pack members. So join us. If you are one of those 25, make sure that you get your questions submitted early so that we can use those to help us in that masterminding session. And then, of course, we have Sunday is going to be an off day. We don't have any events planned. And then Monday morning, we have our big group excursion. We're going over to Savage. And I got to tell you, the closer that we get to this thing, the more excited I am to be spending some time with the family over at Savage. This place is an amusement park for all people. You've got the slow boat rides. You've got the fast boat rides. You've got all sorts of crazy mixed with all of the relaxation that comes with being on the beach in Mexico that you could ever want. It's going to be an absolute riot. They have ropes courses that go over 150 feet off the ground. You have class 3 river rapids that you can go through that have something like 8-foot drops in them, as I think what I've heard from people. You've got the speed boats that you can actually take up the river and they just, veer through the river path. It is going to be an incredible opportunity to get to enjoy the environment, go through some high octane team building, but then to also take time and slow down a little bit with your team. It's always a unique opportunity to get into that quiet environment with people that you see regularly, but you see them in a different light, in a different environment. So when you change that environment, you're going to change the tone of the conversation. People tend to get a lot more real when they're outside of the normal circumstance, and that's when true growth happens. I'm really looking forward to the Leaders Retreat. I'm really looking forward to spending time with you guys at Savage. That's going to be a riot. Then Monday night, we have our farewell banquet. And this, of course, is the last event that we have planned for the Leaders Retreat. It's when everybody gets to say goodbye. Parting is such sweet sorrow. It's a wonderful event to be at, and unfortunately, it will have to come to an end. But I hope that we can milk this thing for every ounce of benefit that we possibly can. So I want to encourage you to prepare your mindset now to expand. Get ready to take some notes. Get ready to have your cup filled so that you come back from the Leaders Retreat empowered, ready to just rock and armed with a whole database now of new contacts from across the nation of other market leaders and people who are out there building their dream in Renatus. Speaking of building their dream, I hope that you guys have taken note of something we've done now for the last 2 weeks on the Founders Live. We have put together a list of names of every single person who was paid in the previous week. Those names, if you've seen them, they're on the little Monopoly board thing. If you have seen those names, those are not people that have been paid in the last month, in the last whatever. Those are people that were paid last week. And we randomized it. They're not in any kind of order. In fact, I had to get creative on exactly how I randomized it, but they are randomly put together, and it was fun. The very first time we did it, we had what was it, like 18 sheets with names on it. And we're putting 10 names on a sheet, and we had like 18 of them. And the pack was like, oh, that's great. That's good. And I said, just watch what happens next week when we do this. And so we did it again this past Monday. Yeah, we had 32 sheets of names. 32. I think it was 32. I'm pretty sure it was 32. It was a lot. There were a ton of names that we put out there. And those are people that were all paid in the previous 7 days. Those are the kinds of people that are experiencing success in Renatus. I hope your name was on there. If it was, make sure that you share that post. We had Audrey get out there on Tuesday morning and share all of those names, all of those images. Share that post, man. Let everybody know that you are busy building your dream, that you are creating your success inside of Renatus, because that's what this is all about. It's all about you being empowered to build your dream. So I hope you guys have taken note of that and look forward to seeing more of those as we continue. You're going to see new names come on there. You're going to see more and more sheets have to be added. In fact, Bob and I were talking that we might actually have to start putting more names on each sheet because there are so many of them. But I hope that you guys take a look at those. Celebrate yourself, but celebrate your team members that are also out there building their dream. All right. Oh, the last announcement that I have is the regional conferences that are coming up. After the Leaders Retreat, just a couple weeks after the Leaders Retreat, we have our very first regional coming up, and we're starting in Denver. So, Aaron, do me a favor, throw up that list of regionals for me if you wouldn't mind. But this will show you, we're starting October 6th and 7th. We're in Denver. We're going to Washington, D.C., Chicago, Atlanta, then back to Salt Lake, November 8th through the 10th. We've got those 5 weeks of regionals. I hope that you guys are taking a good look at which regional you want to attend. Put it on your schedule now. Make sure that you are taking serious this opportunity, because I can tell you, I'm going to give you a little foreshadowing. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, but I will tell you that at the regional conference, you will have an opportunity to do something that you will not get anywhere else. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because that would ruin the surprise, but it's going to be awesome, and you're going to be glad you were there. Not only that, in addition to that, you're going to get amazing training from your local leaders. You're also going to get crazy cool training from your national leaders all over the place. If you want to know how the top income earners have built their business, go to the regionals. You're going to hear from them. You're going to hear what they're doing to get out there and to just absolutely blow the lid off this thing. If you want to know how Bob Snyder has been in the top earner of more than a dozen companies and has been able to build and grow companies to creating tens of millions of dollars of revenue. If you want to know how it is that Bob Snyder has gone around the world and changed so many lives, come to the regional. You're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about it in a fashion that you won't get anywhere else. So if you're looking to take your business to the next level, you need to get registered for the regional right now. You need to make sure that you are there. Take advantage of not only the local trainers, the national trainers, as well as hearing from Mr. Bob Snyder himself. And like I said earlier, there will be an opportunity that will only be available for those individuals who are at the regionals. All right. I want to give you guys a little bit of a report. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the 5-star Winter Circle retreat. And I want to do it with the intent of sharing with you some of the insights that I walked away with, some of the incredible experiences that I got to enjoy, and you know, just make sure that each one of you is planning on being with us next time. So here's the deal. We had 3 major events that were going to be part of this 5-star Winter Circle retreat. We had horseback riding, we had the Can-Am or the Razor running, so the UTVs, the side-by-sides, and then we had boating. And we knew we wanted to do all 3 of those. And I thought, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do horseback riding first. We'll do the UTV or the Can-Am running second. Then we'll do boating third. I thought it would be an escalation in excitement for each one of the events. And first, I got to tell you, I was wrong. Like, I don't think I could actually put them in an order of excitement because they were all just that good. Second of all, we looked at the weather report, saw that we had some hairy weather coming in on Friday. And so we thought, you know what, let's switch boating on to Thursday, and then we'll do the Can-Am running on Friday. That way, if it starts to rain, at least we're somewhat protected. Well, what I didn't anticipate is that clean living pays off the way that it did, because we had beautiful weather the entire time. It rained on the way up there, and it rained shortly after we left, but we had gorgeous weather the entire time we were up there. Blue skies. It was fantastic. So we get on the horses, and it was really funny because the very first thing that happened is I walked up to my horse. I have this big white horse, and the guide looks at me and he goes, "Oh yeah, his name is Sudden Death." And I said, "What?" He goes, "It's Sudden Death." "Why is it sudden death?" "Well, because he kills people." And I'm like, okay, that's funny. And he goes, "Well, his name's actually Zeb." And I'm like, oh, all right, Zeb, I can deal with that. So I hop on Zeb. Everybody else gets on their horse. We had so much fun riding horses. You know, that's funny. So when we were down in Mexico, we did a horseback riding expedition with the pack. And you know, the horses there just were not big horses. They were kind of littler horses. The horses here, these were big horses. They were full size, ready to go kind of machines. And we went up these crazy, these mountain trails where it was muddy and the horses were slipping, and you had to really trust that the horse knew what it was doing, because the guide would be like, "Okay, we're going down a decline here. Everybody just lean back." And so you lean back and your horse starts to wobble down this thing, and you're like, "I really hope you know what you're doing. Otherwise, we're both going down." But it was incredible. It was so much fun. Oh, Connor just posted on here as well. All the events were so fun, such a blast. Can't wait for the next 5-star retreat. You better get building, my friend. All right, so here's the deal. We did this horseback riding expedition, and it was more fun than I could have anticipated. You know, I was born in Texas. You'd think I'd be a cowboy. I'm not a cowboy. This is only like the 4th or 5th time I've been on a horse. But I got on it, and I had an absolute riot. It was so much fun getting to explore the mountains on horseback. It was something that I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to replicate it. It was really breathtaking. So then on Thursday, we decide we're going to go boating, right? We get out on the water. Now, Bear Lake is a 17-mile wide lake. And the elevation of the lake is somewhere right around 5,000 feet in elevation. It is typically freezing cold all year long because it's a mountain lake. It's 17 miles wide, 7 miles across. I have never in my life been on the water or near the water when there was anything less than whitecaps in the water, because there is always wind in this bowl where this lake is. We had glass on the water. The water was so calm that it didn't even break. It was smooth. It was just so inviting, so perfect. If you've ever been on a powerboat before, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, just trust me, it was amazing. So we had wave runners, we had beach toys, we had kayaks and paddle boards, and then we didn't have any seating. And so Richard was kind enough to throw one of the picnic tables up on the top of his 4Runner. Then he drove it out onto the beach for us. But it was incredible. It was a fantastic day boating. Bob has a beautiful boat and it throws a massive wave. And so we had everybody trying to surf and just having a good time with that. It was so much fun seeing Maylee Nelson get out there, and she was trying. She was getting so close to getting it down. She finally got up and then she'd fall over. She'd get up and then she'd fall over. But man, she did not give up until she got it, and she did a great job. But really, I was blown away watching Connor surf. Connor McIntyre was out there, and he did a phenomenal job surfing. He found the sweet spot almost instantly, and just, man, he showed us all up. But I think the real show-offs of the entire time were Ty and Ashlyn Larson. They were phenomenal. They were obviously very familiar with how to surf, but they did a great job. For the rest of us, we had a good time trying and playing out in the water. We had the wave runners kind of running all over the place, and that was a blast. It was just fun, just so much fun being out on the water. And I thought, oh man, this is not going to be good. I don't know how we're going to top this. Well, the next day we did the Can-Am running. We actually drove all the way out and got onto these small little paths that you wouldn't think that a Can-Am is actually small enough to fit on, but they fit. And we went up some crazy inclines, went down some incredible declines, and just had an absolute blast exploring the mountains. And this time on horses, we got to go, but we didn't go very far because they're not really fast. Well, in the Can-Ams, we got to go a whole lot further. And we went on some gnarly trails, huge rocks, big dips, big bumps all over the place. And we had an absolute blast. And of course, being Woody, we had Woody Woodward up there with us the entire time. He found the world's biggest puddle and decided to hit that bad boy with Connor in the passenger seat doing like 50 miles an hour, throws this massive mud wave up in the air. It's pretty hilarious. And then, being the kind gentleman that I am, when Connor wanted to ride back to Bob's place, I totally made him wear a poncho in my car. Oh man. It was pretty amazing. And like I said, all three events were incredible. I don't know that we could top them. However, the part of this event that was truly meaningful, that left an impact on me, an indelible impact, was those quiet times when we were just sitting around the fire. When you would get Woody and Bob, and then all of the 5-star winners are there with me and my lovely wife, and we would just be talking about life and business. We'd be sharing experiences, talking about our motivations, our thoughts, our desires. I mean, Woody, at one point, he actually busted out an entire training for us where he talked about, well, I'm not sure I'm going to share that. He talked about some incredible things about vision and action, and we had some activities that were incredible, but then we were able to refer back to it the entire trip, the entire time we were up there. There were so many times when I saw just one or two people off to the side, masterminding together, sharing, lifting each other, trying to help out. It was truly incredible. And the cherry on top was truly Friday night. We were done with all of our major events. We were sitting around the fire, and we had some life-altering conversations where individuals were able to elevate their belief to new heights, where they were able to see, oh, this is where it started and this is where we're headed. I mean, just listening to Bob tell his story, people were having these breakthrough moments, listening to him going, oh, I see what you did. I was stuck on that obstacle too. And this is how you got over it. I can too. It was just incredible. It was so amazing to see the business one more time go from their heads to their hearts, and to see these people be no longer just an ICM for Renatus, but to become a banner carrier for what it is that Renatus truly stands for, which is empowering people to be the change they wish to see in the world. Every single individual that was sitting in that circle was edified. We were all lifted. We were all inspired. And it was because of everybody's willingness to share and to mastermind, to learn, to listen, to laugh, to cry sometimes. We had a few tears that were shed. It was truly, truly life-altering just in the conversations that we had around that fire. I got to tell you, I was once again inspired. And they asked me, they said, Jay, what is your takeaway from all of this? I've been around Renatus for 12 and a half years. I've been a part of some incredible events all over the world. I've been around Bob Snyder for just so much time. And as I sat there looking around the circle, I was filled with a renewed sense of hope. Hope that we have individuals who are truly committed to building the lives of the people around them. People who are truly committed to the mission of what Renatus is and are not, they don't see people as dollars and cents, but they see people for the lives that they want to change. They want to inspire and help. And I was truly filled with hope once again. I love what Renatus is. I love what we represent, and I love the opportunity that I have to be the president of Renatus. I love being here and building and growing with you and seeing the progress of the amazing men and women who are around me, being a part of not just the corporate team, but being a part of the entire family is incredible. It's an experience that I wouldn't trade for anything. I absolutely love it. And being a part of the 5-Star Winner Circle retreat changed my life so much for the better. And I love that I got to experience that with my wife. She's my best friend, my business partner. She's the one she's my confidant. She's the one that I brainstorm with more often than anyone else. And she and I got to go through that experience together, and we both walked away better than we were before, and more inspired and more in love with Renatus and what Renatus truly stands for. So I hope that each one of you will build to be a part of the next 5-Star Winner Circle so that you too can get an opportunity to mastermind with some like-minded individuals that are truly committed at new depths to what Renatus is all about. It was a phenomenal opportunity that I loved being a part of, and I can't wait to see you guys there with us next time around. Don't miss your opportunity to be a part. As Bob Snyder always says, the bottom is what gets crowded. There's plenty of room at the top. So make sure that you are doing everything you absolutely can right now to be on top, because that's where you are going to get the best training. That's where you're going to have those most impactful experiences in your life, is when you're on top. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I so appreciate having been with you here today. We will be back next week, and hopefully Mr. Matt Snyder will be back with us as well. Hopefully he is feeling better. But I want to remind each and every one of you, the reason why we're not as blocks is because of the people that are surrounded, the people that are associated with it, and that includes each and every one of you. Thanks for being with me today. I'll be back with you live next Wednesday with Knox Rocks.